Peace of the gods. Peace of the gods. What's going on, my good people? What's going on? What's popping? How are you today on this what's today? Wednesday? What's pop no today? Thursday. Man. I don't even know my days. I'll be doing so much. I'll be doing so much. So come on in. Like I said, as you come in, go ahead and hit like. Go ahead and go ahead and comment. Let's change some of the algorithms. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get it in today. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm excited. It's good to hear about these different groups out here. These new groups. These groups that's been existent for a long time. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna we're gonna get it in. So hold on for 1 second. Make sure everything is straight. How y'all doing though? Talk to me. Talk black to me. You know what I mean? Talk that black power shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Black power. So this the regime, as y'all can see on the actual title. Some of y'all like, yo, who is that? Hold on for 1 second, y'all. Make sure. Make sure. Okay. I was just reading the message. Y'all go ahead and state where y'all from. I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, like I said, some of y'all is like, who is this new group, the new African Rebel Regime? You know what I'm saying? That's what we're gonna talk about. That's what I'm excited about because I feel like we should have all different type of groups, all different type of organization, doing different things. You know what I'm saying? Because like if I feel like we all don't have to be together, and it's possible we definitely don't have to be in the same group, but if we all fighting for the same cause, that's unity. You know what I'm saying? That's unity right there. All of us fighting for the exact same cause. So we could be on separate teams doing different things, but going towards our liberation. That's unity. And that's being on call too. So we don't have to be in the same group in order to make things happen. We don't have to attack each other either, just because somebody else is not doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Or doing what your group is doing. Or my group is doing more than your group. That it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? So the NARR is in the building. I see some representatives, from Texas. Where are y'all from? I see Georgia, Texas. Where everybody from? We got the Black Riders up in the building. It's love. It's love. I want to chop it over to everybody. So I'm gonna let people still come in. You know what I'm saying? I know we got some people on CB time. They knew a day ahead of time on what time it was gonna be. So we like to come late. We like to have our arrivals. You know, late arrivals, like I'm here type stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know how people are. You know what I mean? Want to show in how they show in. You know what I mean? But we're gonna get it in. I definitely want to chop it up with the brother. You know what I'm saying? I want to know about more about the organization. I want to know the way he moves, the way he think. I mean, I really want to pick his brain. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but yeah. Showing love always. But let me see where everybody from. So we got Phoenix. We got let me see. So we got the Black Riders, Liberation Party, Central Texas region. Okay. I gotta highlight y'all too. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, brother, I see you. I see you. Uh I'm gonna bring you up in a second. I just want the people to come on in. Y'all go ahead and share the platform. Want as much as people as possible hearing this message and hearing about this group and about how we gonna move. You know what I'm saying? How this group is gonna move together. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it in. Let's get it in. So share the platform. And let me see. Let me see. Oh yeah. Quick commercial. Quick commercial since we got some people in right now. OCTheGreatTV.org. OCTheGreatTV.org. You know, that's the sponsor for the day. Nobody's paying me to say this, by the way. So, but that is the sponsor. You know, YouTube is gonna throw whatever commercials, but I got my own commercials. So we got a free, what I would like to call the political prisoners. It's definitely a political movement. Certain individuals that's a part of the movement getting locked up. You know what I'm saying? So definitely free ozone. I see hashtag free ozone. Let me see the hashtag free ozones. Let me see more hashtag free ozones. And y'all go to OCThe.org and support, because we all need proper legal representation. So, and I am going to put up a post soon, because Ozone definitely want to speak to the people. You know, we'll be doing that Saturday, just so y'all know. But we're going to get it in. But I'll tell you what, without further ado, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me put out these free ozones. Yeah, I like to see that. You know, see free ozones. All right. Got my cat in the background. How y'all feeling today? I'm feeling good, you know. Let me talk to my brother. May have some technical difficulties before he get in, but yeah, I think we gonna work it out, and we gonna work it out. So no worries. Got more free ozone. Yeah, someone saying free all the guys. Definitely that, but definitely free ozone as well. You know. All right. Free ozone, free ozone. All right, so that's the commercial break. You know, we gonna fix some of the technical difficulties, and we're gonna be right back in a second. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing rocking in the right way. As y'all know, it's all about. Hold on for 1 second, man. I'm having technical difficulties myself. Bear with me. But we're going to get it in. We're going to get it popping. I'll be right back. Peace to the guys.
Since O on rat on O unless he gone in the membrane. Drank or smoked something that drove him insane. Since I don't do evil with plans to live like a true geezer, I won't succumb to tongue, gun or root evil. Got a reading from a Babylon, and he told me the path I'm on is like a Chinese banker that's lonely. So I cross T's and dot I's. Deadbeat like a deadbeat pops. Pops that's not mine. I stay silent with the silence, silent round the salads. Either green with envy or green, they ain't been around it. The movement's been co-opted, and the streets is not it. Stuck between a rock and a dike box, and glad it's not thick. I could either chisel or sizzle my way out, cause gate route and blowing my brains out is played out. With mouths to feed and minds to free, I stay esophageal up and suckers mouths for me.
I thought that I could do it by my lone man. Try to get right, so many folks is wrong, man. So you know I keep it on, man. No hate for the home, man. No love for the foe, man. We at war, you see. It's gonna take more than me. So what's it gonna be? You wanna be on the free. I thought that I could do it by my lone man. Master self, don't be a slave to these conditions. We was raised to be forgiven, not to ourselves, but those who changed us for them digits and rearranged it in prisons, projects, and a crack epidemic. So I'm raised first and last, even after we finish. Our power black being menace to anyone attacking our women. We smashing the limits, still standing on the shoulders of our ancestors. Keep our heart from getting colder. If you feel me, I share you. It's betrayal every day though. More hollows than halos, so I stay low, swing low. Sweet chariot, I'm gon' ride the liberation train, go and see Harriet. Ain't no fearing, take confidence and we wearing it everywhere we is. Stick to the script or flip the narrative. The symbols predicted our dominance. Me and my conglomerates. I thought that I could do it by my lone man. Try to get right, so many folks is wrong, man. So you know I keep it on, man. No hate for the home, man. No love for the foe, man. We at war, you see. It's gonna take more than me. So what's it gonna be? You wanna be on the free. I thought
civil rights and what we've missed. But here comes the Asians in to join us. Here comes the Latinos in talking about their civil rights. Here comes white women in talking about theirs, the Mexicans, all of these people. And I don't know, some of you are very, very young, but in my experience growing up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I never knew that anybody who was sent to the back of the bus because she was a white woman. Nobody was sent to the back of the bus because they were homosexual. Nobody was sent to the back of the bus because they were Asian and Latin. They were sent to the back of the bus because their faces were black. And now all of these groups are wanting to come in now and take the things that owe us. And some of our leaders stand up there and say, oh, we're all one. We should include everyone that's going in. Every time I hear them do that, I just want to pick up a sock, a shoe, or something and throw it at the television.
I thought that I could do it by my lonely. Try to get right, so many folks are wrong, man. So you know I keep it on, man. No hate for the home, man. No love for the phone, man. We have all you see. It's gonna take more than me.
Support black media. Peace to the gods.
See, this is why I'm not mistaken by these leaders. See, anytime, first of all, you can't lead me when you call an organization rainbow because there's no black in a rainbow, as you all always know.
All right, we black. Peace to the gods. You know what I'm saying? So, as without further ado, we got the general, the leader of N.A.R.R. in the building. I'm gonna go ahead and pull him up. We're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna start chopping it up right now. You know what I'm saying? So, my brother's in the building. Peace to the guys. What's going on with you? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? I can't hear through the earsets, but can I be heard?
Yeah. I can hear you loud and clear.
Hold on, I'm having trouble hearing. So hold on 1 second, man. I may have to use the speaker.
Okay. Yeah, I
don't know why the headset's not working.
I know you out there shaking and baking. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see what we got. So give me a second. I see that my volume, the lighting on the volume is working, but I can't hear anything on the headset. So let me see.
Hold on. Let me see.
All right, hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you clear as well. I think we good now.
Okay.
We good.
Okay,
right.
Okay, that's a good.
All right, my brother. I just did a short introduction, but please, by all means, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Okay, first off, most definitely. Yes, I am the general of New African Rebel Regime, which is NARR. Roughly started this last year. I'm also the Houston Minister of Defense for the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, Houston chapter. And I'm also the Minister of Defense for the Black Riders Liberation Party in the Southern region. So that's my introduction right there, man. Yeah, that's what it is. Peace and love to all the organizations out there that's really putting the work in.
Yeah, indeed. So, just right off the bat. Hello, right. I think we got some echo.
Okay.
Let me see. I'm not sure if you got another window open on your phone of the actual, or I don't know. But let me see. Okay, so you had to hit mute. Yeah, you probably okay. So I'll tell you what, we'll do it like that. So right off the bat, another group. You know what I'm saying? So, people saying, another group, I think we all should be together. Me personally, I like to have many different groups. We always had, even in history, many different tribes. But the one thing we lack is actually finding ways to work for the same common cause, which I feel like we are. We just have to make it make sense and stop fighting each other in a way or blaming each other for different things. But anyway, I just want to ask your opinion. This is a new group. Why form a new group at this point versus making other groups per se like better? Like, why form a new group?
Well, really, when you have your own organization, there's a few things to where you can implement some things to do what you want to do. Now, I'm not saying I have a discrepancy what everybody else does, but there's certain directions I want to go. Now, some things I won't say online, for safety reasons for me and my comrades. But there's other directions that I want to go, more disciplined directions that I want to go to. It's like I believe when we call ourselves a militia, using that title, you have to bear the experiences to have to be a militia, meaning that, hey, you have to know how to defend yourself. You have to know how to defend the community when needed. Because there's been a few instances to where we have met some obstacles, you know what I mean? Meaning with police forces. Sometimes we may have to show up to certain situations. So I believe that not depending on the police to be in our communities, man. We should be able to police our own communities. We should be able to keep our own communities safe. This is where my direction is going. This is why, I'm trying to get this going to where we can be able to police our own neighborhoods and protect our own communities, and knowing how to defend our people when, let's say, I don't know if I can use profanity on here, but when shit hit the fan. And so I think right now, a lot of us are not prepared, to be honest with you. What I mean by that is the discipline. And that's what I mean. I'm not speaking on any group or anything like that, but collectively, a lot of us are not prepared for when shit hit the fan. That's my main concern on my end, and this is where I'm really good at as far as being, I've never been in the military, but as far as, I've been trained by military experts, from my father on up, what I'm saying? Trying to get our people proficient and getting into the gun community, which, the Huey P. Newton Gun Club does that. But I'm trying to spread that agenda. Hey, there's going to be something coming soon that we have to be prepared for. And many of our people are not prepared. But I really want to get into some other stuff, but that's behind closed doors. But I'm going to keep that one at that.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so I feel like that's a definite need for every community. We all should be policing ourselves, you know what I mean, or having our own, just police force, for our own people, for the people, by the people type thing. You know what I mean? Because it's only us. We know us, versus anybody else just coming in the community and trying to police it. You know what I'm saying? We know us way better than anybody. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like that's the very best way. That's how it should be. That's how we should operate, as a people.
Yes, sir.
So I want to back up a little bit. I kind of want to know a little bit about your background. You did just mention something. You say you never been in the military, but what actually got you into the movement in the first place? And you could talk about the year that happened. And, what got you into the movement? Into doing this type of work.
I would say pretty much, man. This would have to go back as far as 2007. Having a stint in the Nation of Islam for a short period, just for a few months, that kind of like jump started everything. Also, it took a situation back in 2012 to where, being pulled over by the pigs, and that particular day, I don't want to get too detailed what happened with that one, but that was enough. It was so much that got me infuriated. Then too, around that time in 2012, a lot of things was heightening up. As far as the police killings was happening again. Excuse me on the noise. The police killings was heightening up again. The racist white supremacists was coming out the woodwork, doing under the regime of Barack Obama's, when we seen a rise in a lot of the racist actions start to come about. I mean, they always been here, but these racists start coming out the woodworks under the Obama administration. So for me, I got fed up. I kept, thinking like, damn, man, hey, I'm had enough of this situation that I'm going through. I had enough of these situations that my people go through. What can I do? How can I implement, something within the movement? I kind of been, up and up on a few people like, the Francis Chris Wellesley's, always listen to the Malcolm X speeches. I came up in a household. My dad used to have the Malcolm X vinyls. We used to listen to that growing up. So I kind of already had that mindset, but I wasn't really on it all the way. I had to really grow into that. And so as far as, when I first got into the movement, was in 2014 with the Black Riders Liberation Party under General Taco. And just going through, the rites of passage and growing into the organization, I started, leveling up mentally. And then I got with the Huey P. Newton Gun Club in 2015. And since that time, I've just been growing with comrades. We've just been putting boots on the ground and going through different experiences, being within the community and, teaching self-defense classes. I've been in self-defense since the age of 13 and I'm 42 years old. And, we always, in my household, we always been a gun family, under my father. So what I did was took experiences and the things that I have and finding my niche and implementing that in the movement. And my thing was, he's like, hey, well, look, we need self-defense. You know what I'm saying? When we are dealing with an occupying force, what we call police officers, we have to have the know-how to defend ourselves. But so I'm thinking, like, what can I do? I offered, free self-defense classes at times for the community when we have a chance. Whatever it may be, whether it be with firearms, maybe it be with hand-to-hand combat. Just that's just the things that I grew in. That's what started me off. So I would say it's hard to say when I began, you know what I'm saying? Because it really, like I say, the stint in the NOI in 2007, then I kind of just drifted away from things. And then it just kind of resurfaced back in 2012 based on a bad experience that I went through.
And just backing up, so I know you say you were pulled over by the police, but was this a case of just like profiling type stuff, like
mistaken identity, the embarrassment, just the aggressiveness, man, of another man trying to belittle me as I'm a child, as we back into the Jim Crow days or something, and I wasn't having it. You know what I mean? I was trying to, so me being who I am, not expressing verbally that I'm a man, but I had to show that I'm a man. So it's like, hey man, like, what do I go from here? And just a couple of buddies of mine, we was talking about that and stuff they went through. Man, we talked about then, starting something up, but that didn't happen. And it just so happened that 2 years after that, I found the Black Riders. Really, I found the Black Riders at the end of the year 2013, but then I didn't get with them until 2014. So, and ever since then, 2014, it just jumped off from there. And so, and that's what spiraled into now having new Afrikan Rebel Regime, is because I went through all those rites of passages of just boots on the ground and just experiencing different things, but I had to grow and elevate into it, so I didn't just pop up and create an organization. I had to grow through this thing. And that's pretty much it on that one.
Absolutely. It seemed like a lot of things pretty much popped off like around 2014, and then although it was that's around the Mike Brown time, that travesty, but it's still good to hear that it actually sparked this revolutionary mind frame that a lot of our brothers and sisters actually got. Just seeing what's really real and how the people could actually organize and move and stop these police brutalities things from happening. You know what I mean? So I feel like although that was a terrible thing that happened with Mike Brown, but it still birthed like a whole generation of these different generals and soldiers that for the movement, for the people. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So I feel like that's a beautiful thing. So it sounds like you've been a part of different organizations. So um, I want to touch on just some of the, if I could say, how can I say this? Because it's a lot of different people. Put it like this: it's people that could be a part of organizations, right? And
Correct.
they could start complaining about different organizations to the point where they just don't do anything. It's just them complaining, and they not doing anything about it. Versus, because I feel like different organizations, they have niches, things they are really good at,
Correct.
So, and I don't think any organization could do every single thing.
Exactly.
Maybe organization could be very good at something, then this organization be good at something else, and so on and so forth. So I think versus someone just complaining about an organization for not being everything, you know, it's certain people that don't think like maybe I should start my own. Yeah, I should respect what all these organizations are doing, but then
Right.
go over here on for whatever I'm thinking. I could be a leader of whatever that I want to push forward, whatever I wanted all these organizations to push forward. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Do you feel like that's something that you are doing, or do you feel like is that something that like a thought that you had, or I don't want to speak for you, but this new organization, and I'm gonna ask you about your certain niche as well when it
Okay,
comes to
no,
want to bring
no,
forth.
it's not nothing I thought about, not being disgruntled. Um, my roots do start from the Black Riders. I'm still a Black Rider. I'm still a Huey P. Newton Gun Club member. Over
Mm,
time, being in this Houston chapter, I've come across some good comrades. Some left, some are still here, and we have a close connection. Um, Especially with the Black Riders and Huey P. Newton Gun Club. Man, that's like I'll say a brotherhood between those two organizations as well. As far as NARR, like I said earlier, there's some things I just want to implement. With my organization is getting more involved with urban situations, um, dealing with occupying forces. But like I said, I don't want to do it on this just YouTube. You know what I'm saying? On being detailed on what I'm trying to get into. There's some things are left for behind closed doors. But other than that, like it was never been disgruntled. I never asked for positions and stuff like that. It was always given to me. You know what I mean? There's been times to where I'm like, hey, I wasn't ready for this position because I didn't want to fail other people. But that's something to when you see leaders that's been in here longer than you have, especially with the Black Riders. General Taco, he's been in this game for 26 years with the Black Riders Liberation Party. And I know when he saw something in me and asked me, could I take this position? I took it because obviously he's been in here long enough to see that I was fitting for this thing. That's where the rites of passage come in. You know, being a humble soldier, being a humble servant to the community, not worrying about what kind of leadership position I can have or
yeah,
what kind of title I can have. It was all about doing the work. Never complained, never cared about, what neighborhood and how dangerous the neighborhood. That's what we do. We go into the hearts of these, to the neighborhood, to the communities, man. That's why I love it at. And um, me just spiraling and creating New African Rebel Regime is just me coming out of a cocoon, if you will, meaning that I went through the rites of passage, and on the inside when it's time to like elevate. And basically, NARR is not on the outside of UEP. NARR is not on the outside of the Black Riders Liberation Party. And there's other organizations I work with as well. I want to give a shout out, the Black Rebel Brigade, that's BRB. Shout out to Maitreya Asika. Um, that I'm having fellowship with, even with New Black Panther Party in Houston, under Crystal Muhammad. That's my sister. I know a lot of people have riff-raff with her, but hey, that's their business. You know what I'm saying? I have nothing to do with that. But my main thing as well, that even though you brought up like, you know, how some people complain and this and that, I've always, with other comrades, tried to bring unity amongst other organizations. You know, whenever there's some kind of discrepancies between other organizations, and I've seen people that had discrepancies in organizations that they came out of, for many different reasons. But I've always tried to bring unity amongst the organization. People can tell you that really know me, man. That's my main agenda. Even people that didn't get along, how I brought them together, and we go on missions and things of that nature to try to show, man, as Black folks, man, you know, we're not always at each other's necks, because it's not a good look. We know that this white man is looking at us, you know what I'm saying, all around 360, and he laughing at us, man. And it's too late in the day to be beefing with each other, because we at war. One thing I tell my members in New African Rebel Regime, I tell my members in the Black Riders Liberation Party, and I also tell my members in the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, we are at war, and we can't forget that. And when we bickering amongst each other, this is how the white man catches us slipping, especially putting, you know, so much out there on social media and, you know, in the YouTube world. So no, there was no discrepancies to answer your question. I'm just giving you my reasons to why I started NARR, and I'm still a part of these other organizations, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to bring all the puzzle pieces together. That's it. The best way that I can.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I did hear you say, you know, you have a specific niche, but you don't want to, you know, put, you know, everything online. And I respect it. You know?
Well, when I say the niche, the niche is different from the mission plan. I mean, the mission statement that I have. That mission statement says some things I will say that I bring about, and there's some things that's in private. Now, one thing, some of the mission statements I will share, because that is meant for the public. Now, my niche is what I bring to the table as an individual, to bring to be a part of this community, this militia community, the Pan-African community, whatever title we want to call it. One of my mission statements is to, like I said earlier, what I mentioned is to help, along with other organizations, police our own communities, not being an occupying force, but helping with policing our own communities. That's much needed. We know that. That is very much needed. You know, when it comes to missing children, domestic disputes, other situations, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? As far as my niche, my niche is my experiences and things that I'm good at, that I can bring to the table to share with everyone else. So if something happened to me, and I know other people are trained in those areas to what I give them, and I get things from my comrades too. So I'm always a student. So I'm always still learning from my comrades. One thing that I have to always get rid of is the ego. And that's one thing we implement in our organization. Egos is not meant to be here. Like, we learn from each other. Everybody has gifts that they bring in. So all the way around, we can't lose, because either I'm going to learn from this person, or they're going to learn from me, or we're going to learn from this other individual. So, also, one thing about NARR, some people may say we racist. We don't deal with outsiders. Now, when I say with outsiders, we only deal with our so-called Black people. That's it. We don't deal with Europeans. We don't deal with Hispanics. We don't deal with the Asians. We don't deal with anyone but our own. We don't condone interracial relationships in New African Rebel Regime. We don't condone homosexuality. We don't condone pedophilia. that's one thing that needs to be ousted too in this militia community is these
that's given right there. But yeah,
right. So we're very strict, and I built my foundation off the ideology of Idi Amin and Khalid Abdul Muhammad and a few others. But those are the main two, especially with Idi Amin. When it comes to a militia, that's the number one example for me when it comes to a militia and an economic leader. And you know, and if you know about Idi Amin, then you know where I'm coming from. So that's my mission statement. You know what I mean? So that what we're about. We strictly not only race only, but we're race only. That's it. We're race only. We're not with the race first stuff. We're race only. That's it. We don't compromise that. We're not shy about that. And we stand strong on that. I believe that we have to have those old school ideologies brought back. For the last 15, 20 years, yes, the Pan-African movement has gotten watered down, unfortunately. It's just a bunch of, delinquents. Not everybody's delinquent, but it's a lot of delinquents that's here. There's a lot of, the tap dancing. I keep an eye on a lot of things. There's a lot of buffoonery. There's a lot of coonery going on, and too much beefing. I have a strict rule of staying off of social media beefs, riffraff. That's one of our rules. Staying out of putting our personal business on social media or YouTube. So we do the best that we can. Are we perfect? No, I'm not perfect, but we know right from wrong. So what I'm saying is that we're trying to, stand tall as we can, you know what I mean, as Black people. So, I escaped coming from the other side of Blackness coming from that Black American mindset. And when we mature, or we really mature, we try to find somewhere to go with other like minds. And that's what I want to help bring back to this community, is cleaning it back up, because the elders from 20 years ago wouldn't put up with a lot of this nonsense that's going on today.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. It seems like back in the day, at least when I was growing up, the neighborhood was a little more tighter. So, I grew up in the 90s, in that area. So I'm an 80s baby, grew up in the 90s, but it felt like in the 90s, my neighborhood was more gang related. You know what I'm saying? So
Most definitely.
more Crips in my neighborhood, but it was more that back then it was more looked at as like neighborhood protection. So not too many people could come into my neighborhood and not be questioned, like
the same here, right?
Who you here for? You know what I'm saying? Who do you know? And in the whole nine, you know what I'm saying? So that we're gonna know everything about you before you're allowed to travel through the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So and 10 times out of 10, if you don't know nobody, you ain't coming. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know somebody,
That's right.
So and I feel like it should be that way. It should be, everybody should be stopped. Just think if that would happen for Buffalo, before he even came even close to tops, he would have got questioned, got the whole third degree. Like, what are you here for? Why are you wearing that? What's in your bag? You know what I mean? And all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we definitely need to bring that back. And yeah, it probably exists in some neighborhoods, but bringing it back for all neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying? We definitely should be
It's bringing that standard back. If we did bring back those hood standards, and to clear things up, even we had gang banging back in the day, it's not what it is today. It really is there's no street codes. And I still implement those same street codes from, back in the day, meaning that I'm not going to sit there and say I changed from back in the day. What I did was redirect it. And even when we used to go and talk to hood tribes, I'm not going to tell the brothers to put the guns down in A, B, and C. We're not with that. That makes no sense. The government is already trying to take arms from us. It's not putting the guns down, but it's being responsible and redirecting that energy that we have out there with a lot of these young street soldiers, man. And we just telling them, hey, keep that energy. We need that energy, but we need to redirect that, because who you think is your enemy is not really your enemy. So that's the direction that I'm on as well. That's the direction that the Black Rider Liberation Party is on, because they also come from a plethora of different people from different gang units. That's how the Black Riders started, from everybody coming from the old gang units and started the Black Riders. So people talk about, gang culture, but like you just mentioned just a few minutes ago, that keeping people out the neighborhood, mass shooters like that coming up in our neighborhoods like that and dealing rules. I mean, we used to question white boys and things of that nature that came around. So, and that's what we're trying to do too, as well with occupying forces, the police. I don't care about that badge. You know, we pay taxes to keep police employed, so we should have a say so of who comes in to occupy our neighborhoods or not, based on us being taxpayers. So that's something we got to get back on. You know what I mean? That's a part of economics if you look at it. So it's a whole lot of things, man. Like I can sit down with you for a couple of hours and talk about this. But yeah, you're right. That's one of the things we're trying to bring back is a code. Maybe not exactly from back in the day, but we have to establish some sort of code. One code we also have. You see a brother getting choked out, you see a sister getting choked out by the police. I don't care if it's a police or a white supremacist or whoever. We are obligated as New African Rebel Regime. Every brother, every sister is our sister, every brother is our brother, every black child is our child. We are responsible for protecting our own, not only when we're together as a unit, but as an individual. That's something that I have in my mission statement. And that's what we're about. I think we have to get in tune, not only when we put on a uniform, but this has to be a mindset when we're out of uniform.
Absolutely. Now, I want to touch on something because you did say something. I just want to get clarity on it. Now,
Okay.
You said, it's a difference. Well, let me ask you, what is the difference between B1 and what did you say? Black only? Like what was the term used?
You mean as far as like who we deal with, as far as like race wise?
Right. So you were saying you're not B1 or a part of whatever that means. You said I think you said just black only or something like that. Something that you mentioned.
No, what I was saying that we're not race first. We're not race first at all. We're race only. The B1, I don't think I mentioned anything B1. Okay, yeah, but yeah, is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's like I don't know why I thought
Right.
I heard B1. Okay.
Oh, no, sir.
All good. And also just to back this up a little bit, because I feel like to have a code, like your mental got to be right. So before you got into this movement, you said you did some studying, like with the Francis Quest Wellston and so many others before you got into the movement. So how important is it for someone to get their mind right before they actually start doing real work for the people? How important is that?
Real easy. I'm gonna reiterate what I said earlier. Real easy. The rites of passage. Now, what is the rites of passage? Like being in martial arts, man, and dibbling and dabbling in it for years. It's like when you start off as a white belt. You move to one color belt, you move to another color belt. You have to go so far before you reach to a high pinnacle. You have to go through a few things. You got to go through some scrapes, some cuts. You got to bleed a little. You have to sweat a lot. You have to go through some bad days, good days. You're going to go through injuries, but all of those things is what shape you and makes you stronger mentally. It's more mental than it is physical. That's the same thing when you brought up the mindset. That's how it goes with coming up to getting to this point is being in a movement. You have to have this in your heart first. You have to want to do it. One, you have to have it in your heart. Two, you have to have discipline. There's a lot of people that join organizations. You know what I mean? Regardless of I've had people come in and out. And some people come in because they're on an emotional high because something just happened. Somebody just got shot, or a brother just got hung, or another police brutality happened, and there's a major riot. And people get into the emotional high, and when things kind of cool down, they don't have that energy anymore. And there's a lot of people like that. So a lot of people have to understand, hey, am I on an emotional high? Do I really want to get into this?
I call those reactionaries. You know
That's what they are, reactionaries. And you have to, and just how you know who's really at heart with this is when we go through all those rites of passages, when we go through the neighborhoods, when we've been faced with police many times. When you see there's danger that face you, I always tell people, man, you know, we go out and we do a armed patrol, which we do in our own neighborhoods. We go out and do an armed march somewhere. Don't think of it as an event. It's not an event. We're doing this for a purpose. We're going out to spread agenda, but you have to be mindful. I don't lie to my comrades. It is a time to where potential danger can happen. And we can't prevent people from wanting to try to bring harm our way. But just having that black skin is already a uniform, and putting on a uniform is like double jeopardy already. So I always let people know, is this what you want? Do you think you're ready for this? I let them know ahead of time so they can already have in their mind what's to come in their future, possibly. So like, I don't want people to think that, man, you know, I'm gonna join this club and join that club and join this organization, like it's some kind of bowling team or some kind of chess team. They can just come on, be weekend warriors on a Saturday night. No, man, there's some dedication here. If you look at all our past elders, man, from Malcolm on down to the Black Panthers, man, a lot of people sacrificed their lives and a lot of people sacrificed their freedoms. And I'm knock on wood, never been arrested yet. Went through some police encounters. Luckily, I'm still alive, but that don't mean that somebody tried to, you know, check my card one day. I have to be prepared for that. That's why with my unit, I have them prepared, not just with you know, training with weapons or such. We have to have a heart to defend ourselves. There's a lot of people that train, but there's a difference when you have the heart to fight back.
No, for real. For real. You know, so I seen that from my own eyes. I didn't see people train. Then when it comes to real life scenarios, they don't know what to do. They panic. They freeze up. You know what I mean? And you know, it just clearly shows that, you know, different people. It's just not about their life. You know what I'm saying? It's all for something else. Like someone said in the chat, you know, it's almost used as like some type of social club. But just like you said earlier, you know, these reactionaries, they end up joining groups, end up doing different things just because they seen something on TV that they don't like. You know, like you say, somebody got shot. You know, all these different reasons. You know what I mean? So I think our mental have to be right 100% of the time. You know, in order to be a part of these different groups. Yeah, because I feel like what's going today, just like you said, a lot of it is watered down just because it's too many reactionaries that's a part of these groups. And then when something hits the fan, when something goes down, something that you don't really like. So you got people that see things they don't like, they'll go to platforms just telling everybody's business. You got other people that's in it for the wrong reasons. You know, I didn't see people just put on these uniforms just to get women. You know, I didn't see people that just to put up this mask like you are a person or the people, but really you're not. You know what I'm saying? You somebody else behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't see it. You know what I mean? But you know, what I want to ask you, what is the way that you can actually hold on, let me rephrase this question. Because I'm about to say, what is the way that you can actually kind of egg these people out? But because I feel like you have a good gist of, you know, how the code was in the streets when it comes to gangs. So I'm gonna use this term. I'm gonna use this term that was used back in the day called spring cleaning. You know, so yeah, so like, and we know how they did it with the spring cleaning. So I'm not going to assume that it'll be the exact same thing, but
right.
to know the real from the fake, what would be your version of spring cleaning? So after you peep, you know what's going on. How can you egg these people that's not really about what they say they are? You know what I mean?
Real easy and real simple. Time. Now, what do I mean by time? Everybody, like you say, there's some that put on a mask and some that's really at heart with it. Now, right off the bat, you're not going to know. Because even if somebody come off to look like they're not going to last, you can misread them. I've seen people really last, man. I'm like, oh shit, you know, it kind of proved me wrong in my own mind. The work, the dedication, but over everything else, discipline. We come from a different culture from back in the day, and you can tell when somebody's hard into it. You can tell a coward from a person that's truly in this thing for the right reasons. That's simple. It's nothing technical about it to find out who's real and who's not. It just takes time. It could be a short period of time. Sometimes it can be a little longer. You sit back and you observe. You know, one thing I do, I don't just call out things right away. I just let it keep going to see how far it can go. And I'm a patient person. I'm impatient with some things, but I'm patient with others. I'm human. And on that situation, I'm very patient. And I sit back, I watch the work, the dedication, how much do they have, and how much heart do they have in this thing. And I make my determination from there. Now, why I say that's a good question a minute ago is because we had people in the original Black Panther Party that had people that put a mask on. Same thing happened to Malcolm X. There was people with a mask on. We can talk about J. Edgar Hoover and the government and whatever, but he ended up assassinated because there was people with masks on. We had other people within the original New Black Panther Party. It's because people had a mask on and it was working for the FBI. You know what I mean? We had all kinds of FBI informants. We got FBI informants now. I got a few comrades on hand. One of you may know, I know you probably know him, is King Saimir. That's my big brother. That's one of the ones that mentored me coming in here, and I can come up, he can tell you the story himself. So I've seen different examples of how people can put on a mask, come in, play one way. They're either gonna just play around with your time, they're gonna get you locked up, or they're gonna get you killed. All it takes is a little time, but you can't waste too much time. Too much time can be dangerous. And I have to act on it quick. I have to quickly analyze. I mean, we live in the days of social media and information. That's also a help. You know, I mean, okay, they hanging around the Europeans. Hey, man, here go to coonery. Oh, okay, they a little too close to the pigs and here or there. I watch little things, little hints and little clues to the best of my ability. Now, there's no one in no organization that can be perfect on that. Now, there are some people who don't pay attention because some people worry about numbers. I don't have a lot of numbers. I have enough, but I'm not worrying about numbers. I'm only worrying about quality. My comrades worry about quality. All of my comrades been handpicked, not just anybody can come in here. I mean, if a guy named Joe wants to come in, but he's married to a European, that's a big no. If you got Christina want to come in, man, but she married to a European, that's a no. Some things are automatically a dead giveaway, because if you come in here with an opposition, that opposition automatically knows our business, and they're not going to feel comfortable about what we're about, and then they're going to have that person turncoat. So that's why I don't have the homosexuality in here, the interracial dating or the marriages in here, because we're strictly all the way Black, and we try to keep the oppositions out. And those are we don't LGBTQ, whatever. That's a European agenda. That's not our thing. That's not our culture. And when you come in here with that mindset, you're gonna come in here somewhat of a European mindset. I don't care how Black a person or pro-Black somebody try to act, being homosexual. I want to clear that up with on the homosexual side why I don't accept that. Two, I believe that every man and woman should be together. If a man comes in here and he's, you know, a homosexual, he hates his fellow black sister. So much so, he didn't even want to marry her and have children with her. If a sister come in here and she's married to a white guy, that means she deliberately hates black men. So if you, it's just simple logic, man. So this is how I weed all of this stuff out from provocateurs, from reactionaries, because I have to also weed out associations. So that's how I do it when I weed them out.
Indeed. I mean, that to me, they're just a code of conduct. You know, every group, every organization just have a code of conduct. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if you feel that's what work for your group, then that's just what it is. I don't think anyone should have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? You know, so all code of conducts are in some way different. You know what I mean? It's the code of conduct for this group, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and in my opinion, I agree. You know, so just to point out, like, what's your opinion of someone actually coming in an organization that's if it, you know what they say, mixed, you know, have a white father or white mother, you know, type thing. Would this person be accepted into, you know, this regime?
I would say yes, for the simple fact that we already know that the black gene is always dominant. Because automatically we know that when someone comes in here, they automatically deemed as a nigger and as a black person. But I want to go back to Khalid Muhammad on that statement. I'm glad you asked that. That's why I love Khalid. Because when that question was posed to him, I forgot, it was a white guy he debated some years back. And he asked the same question you asked. And automatically, man, the black gene is so strong. Now I can understand, you know, if you got one, hold on one second.
Yeah, because I'm about to go a little further with that question in a minute. You know what I mean, but how we doing in the chat? How we doing in the chat?
Sorry, I had to, you know, I'm at work, but I'm still functioning up here. No, but to expound on your question is that, yes, the black gene is stronger than others. So automatically, we already know that we're going to be identified as black on the spot. Nobody's going to say, oh, man, here's this biracial person. Something happened to this biracial person. So let's be honest, man. I mean, we done had that in the Black Panther Party. There's been people that's been biracial, and the Nation of Islam. We can keep going, but when I say, now, let me clear something on biracial. We know how far we're talking about percentages. I'm not talking about someone that look damn near European. I'm talking, you know, damn well they got to look black. Okay, so I just want to clear that up on that part, because a lot of people can't help it, and then two, there's a lot of people so-called have some white genes in their blood down the line, whether they want to admit it or not, because due to slavery. So, I mean, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, because I was actually gonna go there, and because I know a few people that say they have a white mom or a white dad, but they damn near look white. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
Themselves.
on that one, that's the difference. But let me expound on that one. I've seen some people denounce the white side and had nothing to do with their parents, A, B, and C. And so, yeah, I mean, they don't get, you know, as long as you are not putting your business to them or anything like that. Because I've seen people who stick strictly to their black side. I'll give you one for an example. I have a cousin who's half black and half white. You wouldn't too much know it, but he leans towards his white mom side a lot. You know what I mean? Kind of like Barack Obama. You know, that's a biracial person. But off the bat, people will identify him as a black person automatically, right? So that's you know, that's what it is on that part.
Yeah, man. Because I was gonna say, you know, I'm sure you probably know about that saying of the spook who sat by the door. You know what I mean?
Right.
That very fair skinned guy. You know, I was born back. You know, probably going to die because I'm black. You know what I mean? But the way he could pass for white. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's very interesting. But I ain't gonna hold you. I seen those people switch sides too.
Yeah, they'll
Just
switch
because.
sides with him. Yeah, but see, here's my thing, and I know I'm a big, a little thick-headed with this one, but yeah, I need them strong black features though. You know what I mean? Now, if somebody looks down there white, it ain't happening. But I'm very picky. It's kind of like picking through the
I got
fruit.
you.
You know, fruit with
Got
bad
you.
spots and here and there, so I have to pick out what works for me.
Yeah. No, I got you. I got you. I just wanted to make that clear, for the
Yeah,
people. Yeah.
yeah.
So no, that's real. So it's something. So along with the mental, I feel like there should be some type of discipline where you mentioned that you did martial arts. I'm not sure what other training that you have, and if I can, I want to go ahead and share this screen real quick.
All
We're
right.
just going to your Instagram. Um, yes, on your Instagram, it's actually showing some training and some different things that you're into. I think one of the videos you actually teach self defense and things like that.
All right.
So I just want to share it. Just so the people could get a visual of you, see how you look, and what's going on with what you do. So, and right
All
off
right.
the bat, I see, uh, you know, just you in the gym doing your thing. You got a built like Tookie. You know what I mean? Type of
Right.
thing. And we know what goes in my mind, even with just hearing like Tookie, just thinking of Tookie. This was a very disciplined brother. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like anybody that's in the gym, they have a certain amount of discipline. But I think that's important for any movement as well, for whatever leader to have some type of discipline, and able to encourage others to be healthy in the mind, but also healthy physically. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And know that
That's
that
that's
this
that. Go ahead. That's a page out of the book. I also took out of the Black Rider Liberation Party. It's mandatory for us to have hand-to-hand combat training and also physical training. So when we out and about, I believe that we always supposed to be ready. We have to stay ready physically and mentally combined.
got you, got you. Yeah, I feel like that's definitely important. And by the way, if y'all want to go to this page, it's called I.Kill.Jesus. Now, with that, I actually want to ask you, like, what is your religious? Not that this matter, but what is your religious, background, if you have any
Let,
at
let
all?
let me get to religion. You mean spirituality? Religion is anything that you put into practice. A lot of people, we get like words and the meaning of words mixed up. Not you, but religion is anything you put into practice. Now, spirituality, I am into Ifa, and not
Okay,
just singling out to Ifa, because as African and people, man, that's my spirituality is Ifa. And personally, that's what I M2. That's what I practice. And getting back to our ancestors. Ifa is also getting connection with the ancestors as well. And I don't want to sound typical with that, but that's my, if you want to call that religion, that's my religion. But my main religion, and it's part of my spirituality, is training and being in this movement. I believe that, what you do upon the earth when you're alive, it transcends into what we call the spiritual realm. Everybody don't have to be into that or believe in that, but that's something I did. And the title, when I say I killed Jesus, I killed him in the mind first, and I had to kill him out of the mind many years ago. And so when I say killing Jesus, that white man, Superman, that white leadership ideology out of the mind, you got to cleanse your mind first before you can move forward. I mean, I think it's impossible to have a white deity in your mind and then say you're about black empowerment, or you about Black Power, period, with this white figure in your mind already, something that don't exist. So that's my religion. I mean, my spirituality is Ifa, but my religion is this movement. That's my religion. That's something that I practice. Some people religion is working out. You know what I'm saying? So that's it.
No, that's real. That's real. First to address, because I knew what religion mean, and
Right.
what it means to me is just something that you do every day. That's why
Right.
a lot of people know that. That's why I say, hey, I do such and such religiously, and
Right.
it could be just waking up in the morning drinking coffee or something like that. You know what I mean? Every morning, So yeah, religion just it's just
Also,
that you do every
not to
day.
cut you off, I had something snapped in my mind because I saw in the comments somebody asked, can
Right.
anybody military and law enforcement join? Let me get to that real quick, if you don't mind, my brother.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Absolutely.
Military, I don't mind. Law enforcement, no. That's another thing in our mission statement that we have. No ex-FBI officers, current active FBI officers, no police officers, meaning deputized, no CIA agents, none of that. That's a big no. Because you
Okay.
can't
Well,
serve two sides. So that's just to answer the question of the person in the chat.
so what about ex police officer, ex FBI,
No.
stuff like that?
No, the
Okay.
reason why I say no, and I like to give a reason behind decisions. The reason
Okay.
I say no, because even those that retire from the police department, they have a large brotherhood and they still attach themselves to that ideology. Now, um, like I said, man, I just don't play with it for safety reasons. We've seen too much with Jago Hoover. We've seen too much with COINTELPRO. And it's 2022. We've seen enough um, leaders that's been assassinated and incarcerated. We still have elders that's incarcerated now, and they're rotting away in prison. And when they let them out, they already surpassed the elder stage. So
Mhm.
that's just me being cautious. Number one, um, me
Mhm.
being careful not only for myself but for my comrades. One thing, like you brought up earlier, with the street code, we don't trust police around here.
Dang, so no alphabets. Yeah. So like, that's very wise. And I'll tell you this, because I heard of actually a story just recently. Someone was trying to join an organization. I'm not going to say what organization, but someone was trying to join the organization. Once they checked this person's background check, they found out that he was an ex police officer, ex FBI, ex a few other things, ex military, stuff like that. So um, when they asked him, it was like, "Yo, so you are all this ex?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm not a part of that anymore. I just want to train this group of different things. I want to train them about just military things. I want to train self defense and all this other stuff." Said all these great things, but then he turned around and said, "But if I see something wrong, I will arrest that person." So it's like, hold on, like that means you are still a part of that means technically you're still the FBI. You still the police officer. You still all of these things if you still gonna operate in that matter. You know what I'm saying? So, they all took an oath. Once you take that oath, once they take those oaths, they are that forever. You know what I'm saying? And that just it is what it is. But very wise to not accept those people a part of these organizations, for sure, for sure. You know what I mean? For
The only
sure.
thing I can say, man, you can have a fun day at the beach, but don't forget there's sharks in the water, meaning that there's potential danger there. So it's like, you know, it's just too dangerous. I don't trust it. Now, whatever level of trust other people have, that's on them. And whatever outcome that happens in that process, that's on them. But I care for my comrades so much, I don't want them in any kind of riffraff at all.
Mhm.
Some people have records, some people don't. And that's when we already have a microscope on us already. We under that microscope. And I'm not trying to hand deliver militia members to the goddamn police. It's just idiotic. You know what I mean? I don't like police. And if I'm out there oink, oink, bang, bang, and somebody feels some type of way, I know we in trouble. You know what I'm saying? If I got a police officer in the ranks, it ain't going to make sense. You know, so especially with the ideology we have over here, you know, they're not going to feel comfortable. They're going to feel some type of way. And they're going to go back to that brotherhood. One thing about police officers, they never leave the brotherhood. I don't care if they 20 years retired. They never leave the brotherhood. And let me also tell you this. A lot of them, when they're retired, they still somewhat active with their brothers. Some of them go after retirement, get into private investigators. They become A, B, and C. They also help out fellow officers as a retired police officer. So yeah, as time has always showed and as history has always showed, the brotherhood is never gone. You know what I mean? From an ex-police officer or FBI officer or a CIA agent or whatever. They all police to me.
Yeah, facts, facts. You know, so I'm gonna ask this, and this may be a silly question. Why is it a difference with a police officer and then the military? Like, cause ultimately, don't they serve the same thing? Or
Well,
what?
here's the thing. Military, we look at it. A lot of people go into the military. Let's say, especially our young brothers. They come into high schools with the recruitment, and they get them right at 17. A young boy at that age don't know any better. He's not thinking about along the lines of becoming a police officer. He's thinking, okay, this is how I can better my career, A, B, and C, make money, this and that. So most of our brothers, man, that go into the military don't even think along that line. Now, some want to come right out of high school, hit that police academy, and become a cadet. And if they want to become a police officer, they go 9 times out of 10, they go straight to the police academy. Military is what you brought up also, where I've seen a lot of brothers doing this movement that was ex-military. It's what we call the spook that's set by the door. Okay, so I see that it's, a person gaining experience, gathering information. That's also part of a military, is gathering information. Now, what do I mean by that? Every world power that has a military, everybody's not a active soldier who goes out with a rifle and throwing hand grenades. Some people are what you call an intelligence unit, to where they got to get information from our enemies. That's one thing Black people don't do as a militia in a general, and I'm not saying all of them, but in general, let me make sure I say that word. In general, a lot of people don't get information from these Europeans. What are they doing? What's the European next step? Where did this police officer live? Can we find out information of this FBI officer? You know what I mean? So every military branch has some sorts of intel where they gain information. So yeah, when I see brothers doing it, now there's some that will go into the police force. I get that. But a lot of people don't go in there for that mind. Some people just go in there into the basic army. They may go for 2 years, 3 years. They come out a little experience, we get that experience. My dad was ex-military, even though he said that it was no place for a Black man because he was young when he went in. But a lot of the experience that he had, I got from that. So it was passed down to me, knowing how to fish, knowing how to hunt, knowing how to shoot, knowing how to, get into hand-to-hand combat, things of that nature. How to think, how to watch your enemy, how to pay attention to certain physical behaviors and things of that nature. So yeah, there's some benefits from being there. Now, I don't agree with going over there being a contract killer for the white man, and I don't believe in following the order the same way they run their military. That's one thing I don't agree with, but I do believe that you can go in there and gather some information. So that's my opinion on brothers or sisters that's coming out the military.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Not, I want to ask this since we on it. Is it possible to have, let's just say, someone of your organization to join the police force, in order to, could something like that happen? Because it seemed like they could do that to us, but is it possible for us to do that to them?
Hell no. Reason
Okay.
why I say there's an explanation to every answer. When you join the police force, you take a pledge to join a brotherhood.
Hmm.
Things go on that's not right. We've seen time and time again when certain police officers become whistleblowers. Number
Hmm.
one, um, what's the guy that went on that? I know you know who I'm talking about. So, just a few years back, he went on a shooting rampage. He was in the military, but he was
Yeah.
also part of the
Donor.
LA. Do- uh, uh,
Last
yeah,
name
what was
Donor. I think,
Chris
uh,
Dorner. Chris Dorner,
yeah. Yeah.
and unfortunately, he woke up and he saw it for what it is. But you got some half decent people there, and they wake up and they're like, "Hey, man, this ain't right. This ain't right." And when you go against the grain, there's repercussions once you join the brotherhood. You make a pact. That's a certain pact that's distinct between military and police. Police has a pact. Okay, too much evidence to where police um, have to observe a black person driving this sort of car. If this car is this year model, they have to pull them over. I've seen too many countless times where police come out and whistle blow, looking at they mission statements, things of that nature, and you'll be appalled at some of the shit you see. Well, I mean, it's no shocker, but a lot of people will be appalled from the things they see that police have to um, not identify, but they have to profile people of color. So when you become a police officer, you become part of the brotherhood. Now you can't serve two sides. It's impossible.
Okay.
It's impossible to serve two sides because you can get in there, but I always tell people, man, listen, man, you get yourself into a world of mess because if you decide to wake up while being a police officer, man, that's a tough situation to be in because you can't tell on your fellow blue-blooded brothers because you're gonna have repercussions. Not lawfully, but you got a lot of them try to execute you too and try to say that okay, this person committed suicide. So no, I don't trust anything associated with police at all.
Yeah. No. No, I agree. I agree. That, and that's for real. So it's kind of hard to really hop out of that mind state. I even spoke to an ex officer on his channel just to kind of know his mind state because it felt like he felt comfortable with having both feet in the game on both sides. And then I was just like, yo, you can't play on both. It's no way you can do that. You know what I'm saying? You can't be for us and then be for the police at the same time. It doesn't make sense. But in his mind,
Right.
he just didn't get it. He didn't get it. So, that clearly let me understand like we just can't. They got to do they if they want to be a part of the movement or a movement, all ex police officers, whatever y'all want to do, y'all could make your own group and do something. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that should be a thing. Make your own group, be able to move how you want to move separately. You know what I'm saying? Do that over
I
there.
agree. I agree
Yeah.
wholeheartedly, man. If they feel that has to be once you that's kind of like you know, I don't know if this analogy makes sense, but if like you sleep with someone that has HIV and you got it, you can't get rid of it. And so once you become a police officer, you got that mindset, you kind of stuck with that. You stuck on it unless you was a part of the police force and you lied about it, but it's easily to find out your background. And that's what a lot of people don't do is looking at people's background, man. I mean, when my comrade was locked up in 2013, and when he had what he thought was a Black Panther member, a new Black Panther Party member, and when he was visited in jail, he made it aware then that um, he's an FBI informant. After everything, you know what I'm saying, he was wiretapped, my comrade had been videotaped. They do so much so it's getting close to your own family member as much as your own wife or your husband.
Yeah.
And that's how deep it goes. And not only that, you got to think about it, man. Police officers, they teach them how to lie. They also teach them how to manipulate. So
Yeah.
that's why I say no police officers, because they have that training. They're training
At
the
the class
psychology
and
training.
everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like real talk. I mean, you know, for those who don't know how deep it can get, watch the movie In Too Deep. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Lawrence
these
Fishburne, right?
yeah, you say In Too Deep? Nah, that's the man. Wow,
That's deep
forget
cover.
that.
I'm sorry, that's deep cover.
Yeah, right. In Too Deep got Omar Epps, LL Cool J, you know, and some
I remember that one.
yeah. Watch that joint, you know, because nobody believed that he was even a cop, you know, Jay
Right.
Reed, you know, nobody believed it, you know what I mean? So
That's
his
right.
act was so good, you know what I'm saying? It felt like he was one of them, you know. So a lot of times it's hard to tell. That's why it's important, like you say, to pay attention to people. That's number one, but also check their backgrounds and make
Exactly.
sure, you know, it's nothing on it, because there's backgrounds out there that's actually like real like nasty. Like, so what type of backgrounds can people have in order to even join the group, or can they have any backgrounds at all?
Right.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
and
Wait
I'm
a minute.
asking you with
Wait a
that.
minute. Say that again. Repeat that
I'm
again.
asking. So yeah, what type of backgrounds can people have to even join this group? Like,
Um,
or any
anything,
backgrounds at all?
anything outside of police enforcement, anything that's on the outside of anything that's homosexual. I don't know if I can say the F word. I really want to say that one. Anything outside of interracial relationships.
Well, I was
Um,
saying like finding on the police report or something like that. You know what I mean?
say it again.
Like like checking the background as far as a police report. You know, you checking someone's police report and you find these certain things. What is okay and what is not okay?
You mean as far as a criminal background?
Right, criminal back. Right.
Oh yeah, easy man. Pedophilia. No. In my opinion, a pedophilia shouldn't even be alive. Pedophiles, and to any one of these organizations out there that has a pedophile in your organization, not only you should be a goddamn shame to yourself, but you shouldn't even let that member live. That's number one. You fuck with children, you shouldn't even be breathing air. You taking up my oxygen being out here, being alive. Second, rapists, um, things that's passable. Listen, a lot of us come from a lot of us revolutionaries came from the streets. Some of us was in gang activity. Some of us was in other street activities. As long as it's nothing to you taking someone's innocence and you was against anybody's livelihood. I don't care if you robbed the store before you robbed the bank here and there. You know, people can be redeemed from that, but there's certain things in life people can't be redeemed from. You know what I mean? Anything that's detestable. Let me put it in specifics. Anything that's detestable and despicable, as far as rape and pedophilia. Also, um, as far as criminal background, that's pretty much it off the top of the head. But it's mainly those two.
Yeah.
Also, you know, let's say someone went to prison because they were trying to sabotage a black movement and they get out of prison, they want to become part of my organization. That will also be a no. That's something in the lines of being detestable. So anything that's detestable is along those lines, and anything related to that, that's a big no. There's no chance. No
Yeah.
chance.
So there's certain backgrounds, like for example, like I've seen backgrounds, like let's just say for robbery or whatever, you know, and because what is the amount of year? I guess it depends on what state you in, but let's just say the amount of years you in a certain state that, you know, for robbery you get like 5 to 10 years, and you notice that this person only spent 1 year in jail, but then they come out and want to join your group. Like what type of suspicious things like that? Like, is that something that
I
you
wouldn't take
look
a
for?
chance. I wouldn't take a chance.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take a chance. I mean, ain't no more Johnny Cochran's like that. So I wouldn't take a chance because they've been doing some mealy mouth talking. So something like that, maybe they didn't snitch, but for the most part, man, I'm not taking a chance. 9 times out of 10, someone getting out that quick in the state of Texas, which the least time you get is 10 years. That's off the rip in the state of Texas. And you get off after 1 year, I'm not taking any chances. I would listen. I would take a chance at being wrong. I don't have a problem with being wrong and taking my chances, and I'm a gamble with that if I roll a dice on it.
That's real. That's real. You know, that like I said, that's wise. You know, because I've seen that. You know, I've seen that for different groups as well. It's like, yo, did you see this? Did you see how long that they spent in jail and blah blah blah? So I think that's important to actually look at. You know what I'm saying, and realize, you know, and understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so and I feel like I want to eventually bring it to a close. I feel like we talked about a lot of good things, but the name of your group, why choose it to be that particular name? You know, so what made you go towards that particular name that you have for this regime? If you could break that down.
Real easy. And I'm about to break that down right now. New African, keyword rebel, and we are a regime. When I say new African, it's getting the African mindset. Now, as time progressed, and we know we're in the age of information, the age of technology, culture change. Well, I'm bringing that new African way back. Well, I'm bringing the African spirituality back. When I mean African spirituality, I'm not talking about lighting candles and setting up altars and praying. When I say the spirituality or the culture, it's bringing that mindset back. And we oust out everything that's American, getting getting the American Negro mindset out of the so-called Negro's mind. That's the African part. We rebel is that we rebel against the system. We're kind of like the black versions. When you see a lot of these rebels, these white rebels out here, and how extreme they are, and they race up to their fullest potential, and they have so much pride in their race. That's how we are. We're black rebels. We're not with the nice mindset, the peaceful mindset, and trying to pray for our enemy mindset. We have the mindset of a rebel, 100%, 360 degrees around. Rebels. That's it. And it's like we're not nice with it. Not trying to be nice with it. I'm not trying to be black power 1 minute and taking pictures with white boys the next, and dating white girls the next. You know what I mean? Being a token and a soft-spoken Negro. You know what I mean? One, we're smart. Two, we are technical in everything we do, but we just rebel completely against the whole system. There's nothing for us in this system. We don't have no confidence in this white man's system. And to rebel, I believe that we should have our own, govern our own, and we can then call ourselves kings and queens when we can govern our own and we have our own laws. I look to be elite, not amongst the best, but I look for us to be elite, the only ones. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say something, but I'm not going to say it on YouTube, but I'm not going to say it on here. But as far as I'm trying to get us back to where we come from, to how everything started before things got fucked up and our cultures got fucked up, our languages got fucked up. So yes, the new African way of doing things, I don't like to say African American. I don't like the terminology of Black American. That's not me, even though I can't help it. That's the nationality that we in, being in this land that we in. But I don't consider myself no American, neither do we. So yeah, I mean, that's what it is. New African rebel regime. It's just, that's what it is. Is that we have an African mindset all the way around, no other way. We have enough science, enough math, enough know-how from our forefathers and foremothers that they already gave us. We don't need no information from the white man, because we gave it to the white man. Then they took our knowledge, you know, things of that nature. When it comes to education, you know, that's what we on with. That's also being African. You know, this white man took math and science and split them up. You know what I mean? And we know that math and science was one. This white man telling us how to read. He telling us how to do this, how to do that. I mean, we don't even know how to hunt for ourselves when we taught him. So we're trying to get back to the African way, our martial arts, our hunting, our fishing, our own economic systems. That's the new African way. So we're not just a militia. We about economics. We about Black empowerment, period. Hope I wasn't too long with it.
Nah, you good. You good. I love the way you answered that. So that really answered my next question. You know, because I was going to ask, like, what's your political view? But it sounds like, you know, well, let me just ask that just to see what you come up with. What are your political views? You know, at this point, I know it sounds like you're against the system, but like, what's your political view for this group?
You mean a political view as far as a political stance or something in that nature?
Sure. Yep.
None. Now, what I will do, um, to be greedy, and us as a
Mm-hmm.
people, we should be selfish. We use anything that could benefit us. The laws ain't made for us, but we have to play chess with this white man's laws because it's not our system. We have no choice but to live in this system. Believe me, if it was my way, a lot of things would be different. So I don't have a political stance or left wing or right wing that I stand up on. There's some things I agree with that just happen to be a part of the law. Like, I believe we should have the right to bear arms, regardless of law. Every man and woman should have the right to defend themselves. That's a human right, not a law. Um, that's why I don't like this system, because once one become a felon, it's crazy to you can't even wear a bulletproof vest to an extent. Like in the state of Texas, and I think in other states, you get arrested for wearing a bulletproof vest. So that this white man telling you this is another form of slavery through the system. It's, you know, saying that, okay, you can't carry a firearm, you can't wear a bulletproof vest, you can't do this. Hell, they even try to stop you from living in certain places, or you can't even you can't get jobs. This is why we're trying to push working for ourselves. So I don't have a political view. I have an African mindset of a political view that maybe the Idi Amin way, because we seen when he got into power what he did with Uganda. So I'm on that mindset of that. That'll be another story on some of that. But as political
Yeah.
view of where I stand in this place they call America, I stand nowhere. I just take whatever benefits us.
Okay. Yeah. I like that last statement. So, and with that, do you feel that that it's a way that or let me say it like this: if we should operate in this system, or should we actually have our own system? You know what I mean? I know we talk about operating by a code, but a lot of times operating by a certain code, it also when it's a certain code that's already put in place to go against whatever code that we set in place. You know what I mean? It's I you know they bring us in a way where it's almost like, okay, you know, I can't completely operate by my code like how I want to, because there's a other system or other code put in place. So should we have our own system, or is it a way to still have black power and do what we need to do as you say, new Africans in this system?
I'll put it like this here. And I know a lot of people will be watching this, and I'm gonna be very strategic with this, and straightforward with this. Again, no, we can't operate in this system. And repeat that other one again. You said something about operating in the system. Can we work within the system? No. Reason why we can't work within the system. Number one, the system is by design to help white citizens and to be against African people all in this land. It's designed to be against us. Now here's this: when we go to proof of knowing that the system don't work for us, we know that a European that's born in America is born under the Constitution. And I would debate anyone. No black person on American soil is born under the Constitution. We have what you call civil rights laws, and you have legislations within those civil rights laws that all have expiration dates on them, meaning that we are weekend warriors are temporarily under the so-called under the Constitution, under the civil rights laws. Like Malcolm made a statement before, if we really want to talk about if they really cared about us being a part of this country, get rid of the civil rights laws and make us a part of the Constitution. If we was so-called citizens, I mean, trying to work within the system and into government, they wouldn't have to make civil rights laws. So it's obvious that by making civil rights laws that we wasn't a part of this system anyway. So it's crazy that when one legislation about to expire, they have to vote and pass a law again to make sure that they prolong that one legislation just so you can so-called have a right to vote, or you can so-called have this right, or you can't go back to drinking out of separate water fountains. You know what I mean? And I wish it was back in the Jim Crow days to where we had our own separate shit, but it's impossible to work within the government. Barack Obama was an example. Marion Barry, great example. A lot of these black politicians you've seen in office are great examples, meaning that whatever want to get in there, they're going to use you as a guinea pig. They use black politicians as guinea pigs to run the community down, to keep the community poor, to keep the black community on the religious spirituality tip as far as Jesus. They want to make sure they keep that Jesus thing on you. You know what I'm saying? They always using tactics within politics to keep black people in check, to keep them docile, to keep them watered down. And as long as you have black folks supporting individuals in the politic arena, that keeps you watered down. You kind of, if you're in that systematic mind frame, you're not going to go outside of that. It's just like what we talked about earlier. Can you be a law officer and the black militia? We know it don't work. You can't serve two. You can't be a politic talking about black power. I mean, they come on, man. You know, imagine going up on a podium talking about black empowerment, and man, they'll assassinate your ass before you leave the building. You know what I mean? So we already know politics don't work for us. So no, I'm not for that. Two, when you become a so-called president or whatever, or a governor, you still have to abide by those laws, or what they do, you get impeached. And sometimes if you break any of those laws while being a so-called black politician, you get arrested. So no, it don't work for us.
Yeah, you know, in my opinion, and I feel that this is the truth. This system is based off of white supremacy. You know,
Exactly.
and only way to get out of the system or get out of white supremacy is creating your own system. You know, in a way of being your own government or sovereign a way. You know, you could come up
That's
with
the
your own
word.
rules.
Can I please get you to repeat that S word you used? That's where I'm going right there. Can you please repeat that S word?
Sovereign.
That's what I'm talking about.
So being your own government. You know, so I feel like that is the best way. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And I feel like we just, as you mentioned in the beginning of you know, being just even going back to the golden days in Africa, because we all have to agree, although that a lot of us are from this land, everything still started in Africa. We all have to agree
Exactly.
with that.
Exactly.
You know, so but in this land of Africa, we had so many different tribes, so many different understandings, different languages, different gods, perhaps, all these different things, different trains of thoughts, different code of conducts. You know what I'm saying? We had these different things. So, we could definitely operate in these different ways and still exist. So
Right.
my biggest thing is, as a people, as being free and how we should operate, as a living, breathing being, flesh and blood being. We should have our own common customs when it comes to the way that we live. We should not be under any type of system that's backed up by white supremacy, and it's obvious because we've been under this system for however long, and we still don't have true tangible things. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Now I
So,
can say this here:
yeah.
within a flick of a light switch and the snap of a finger, racism, white supremacy can be done with overnight. It just looks like it takes years, and it's not. If you look at it logically, it's the mindset. This is something you start to show off with the mindset. It's the mindset. Two, we have the financial tools. I don't like to say economic tools. Economics and money is two separate things that combine together. So I don't want to get off into that. But we have the financial tools to create our own. I don't care what the numbers say. We know it's a lie. We outnumber a whole lot of the oppositions. Two, we can have our own police forces with us, by us, with our own mindset. We have that. Let me tell you, people say because of the system, this system can be overturned. We've seen throughout history through over thousands of years and hundreds of years of how government's been turned over. We've seen what happened with the Haitian Revolution. Look at the revolution that took place in Cuba. Look at how long it took for Fidel Castro, and how long it took them strategically, had to get the political mindset and had to build up their regime. And then when time came, that government was overturned, and that vision that he had, what he thought Cuba should be, that's what happened. I'm just using that as an example. We always take pages out of the Art of War. Everything is not just with guns and hands and knives. It's a lot of strategic means and having, like I say, gathering information, studying your enemy. We don't do enough of that, So yeah, we can have our own, and it can be done. It's not a pipe dream. It's a lot of black folks thinking this cage-like mindset that it can't be done. So we try to beg or vote our way to ask for a piece of the pie, and we shouldn't want just a piece of the pie. We should want the whole thing. And if I can't have the whole thing, or we can't have the whole thing, we shouldn't want none of it.
No, I mean, any time when it came to us being getting into self-determination, we succeeded. I mean, just going with the Black Wall Streets that was pretty much all over America, and this happened like immediately, damn near after slavery. You know what I'm saying? Although we can argue slavery still exists today, but I'm saying right after the plantation, we was able to have this mind state of having self-determination and having our own everything, our own hospitals, our own taxi, our own schools, our own everything, what I mean? Grocery stores, going down the list of everything, every tangible thing that we need, we had our own, you know what I'm saying? And we did that in the past. But I feel like one thing that was definitely needed is our own police. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure. I don't hear too much about having our own police back in the day, the people that actually protect the neighborhood, or say, for example, protecting Black Wall Street before anything even goes down, before they even burn up the neighborhoods or whatever like they did. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? I feel like that's 100% important to have that protection first, because in order to have anything, you got to know how to protect it. You can't even have your own woman if you don't know how to protect her. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
No, it
To
comes from
expound
protection first. Yep. Go ahead. Yep.
on that, when we talk about policing ourselves and having a militia, here's the thing. This is why militias are so important. Black Wall Street was a beautiful thing, but the reason why it got destroyed because there was nobody to protect it. That's one thing the Italians did when they came to America piss poor, and when they pulled in their money together and built up their communities. That's what the mafia was. Yeah, they did their things with the gangster shit and selling the drugs and everything else, but they protect their neighborhoods, they protect
Right.
their businesses. You know what I mean? And their neighbors' businesses. And the thing about it, if you look at
Mm-hmm.
every world elite, every elite has a powerful military. Now I say this, a lot of people, when we talk this military talk and black militia talk, and then you got people that get on the economic side, they try to differentiate the two when they should be combined. Look at America's pie chart. Go back and look at 2018 pie chart and the money that they spent on this country. They spent over 1.8 trillion, 1.8 trillion on the US military. Everything else falls in line. I don't care about, man, it outsells cars, it outsells every materialistic thing you can think of, because people know that military means is the most important. Not amongst the most, is the most important thing. It's the military. When you see a strong military, you see a strong nation. That's a fact. That's why we so important.
For real. For real. And I'm gonna say this, for any community, because in our communities, in black communities, we have so many different businesses from other races, and so on and so forth. But if anyone was to actually tell, like, hey, it's these brothers and sisters out here really protecting the neighborhood, and in the right way, very disciplined, and everybody know what's going on. They're really cleaning up the neighborhood in many different ways. I can guarantee you, once they find out that this is happening, money will start coming in. You know what I'm saying? You can talk to these, different businesses just as similar as the Italians did, but of course in a better way because we doing it. You know what I mean? Because what the Italians did, they were just like, hey, you got problems with your business, we can protect it. All you got to do is just throw a little money here, and once it's under our protection, you ain't gonna have no more problems. I promise you that.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. And they protecting own. And that's what
yeah,
every race within their community is supposed to do. That's nature. That's nature. And by nature, man, we shouldn't have um these different Mid Easterns and these Asians setting up shops in our neighborhoods, man. And
but
we
at the
allow that
least,
to be.
they should be able to break bread. If they're gonna be there, you gotta break bread. You know what I'm saying? That's the if they're gonna be there. You know what I
They ain't
mean?
gonna do that. We know they're not gonna do that because we know that they have an agenda as to empower their next generations, and they're penny pinchers. They
They
wouldn't do
got
that. You know what I mean? They would throw crumbs out there to us, but as far as that, I don't think we should have them amongst us as well, because they also played a part in the Atlantic slave trade as well. So that's why I say, man, a lot of people had their hands in it, and don't get me wrong. This is our land too, man, because there was people here beforehand too. So, we have to take this back, man. What's ours, man. Our people went through blood, sweat, and tears and mistreated. Babies thrown to alligators, and our women was raped, brutalized, man. The price was already paid through blood. Whether they want to say we was here or not, already the price has been paid, man. And blood is a very expensive price. So this system has to be done away with. Now, how? I'm not going to explain in detail on here, but I believe everybody has an idea. But other than that, man, we built this. We built the country. We built the financial system here. Okay, so We just gotta take back what's ours, man. I mean, our okay, go ahead. Our ancestors are looking down. Um, our ancestors are looking down upon us in disappointment, man, on the things that we're doing now and the things that we're accepting, the little crumbs we're accepting. You know what I mean? People going to the suburban neighborhoods, or because they make a certain amount of money a year, and what kind of luxury cars they drive, and they think they made it. We always have black people in that same situation. It's nothing new under the sun. The thing is, we're afraid to take sovereignty. That word that you said earlier, we're afraid to be elite. We're afraid to have our own laws. Y'all be careful. We're afraid to have our own laws and things of that nature because we don't want to go against the grain. And black folks have this fear of losing. We got to get out of that mindset of losing. You know, when I mean losing, you know that your brother's getting choked out by a goddamn pig. Step in there. Quit pulling out a goddamn cell phone. I don't respect anyone when something happened to one of ours. Somebody pulling out a goddamn cell phone. Like, I don't respect that. You know, we have to get out of that mindset of losing. Yeah, you may go to jail. You may end up getting physically hurt. But we got to get out of that mindset of losing, or losing a job, or you may lose your house. We got to get out of that. I don't respect no black person that has that mindset. I just don't.
Yeah, for real. I mean, I feel some type of way when our people is asking, for justice. I feel like there is no justice in a corrupt system. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we should actually find our own ways to get justice, to make justice happen for us. You know what I mean? So I hate to leave things to the actual government or this corrupt system, when it comes to, us, our justice, in the right way. You know what I mean? Because, when these different things happen, and then when things hit the court, we are asking, we out on the streets with signs and everything. We are literally asking for justice for whoever, hashtag whoever, you know what I mean? And it always end up something that's not good enough, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So for someone going into a store shooting up 10 black people, or people in the church shooting them up, you know what I mean? Like, although they're in jail, I feel like justice should be a whole different. I feel like these people should die instantly. You know what I mean? Or street justice. Street justice is always different. I respect the street justice from back in the day. You know what I mean? So if somebody do something, like if somebody rob you, you know what I mean, or used to robbing people, way back in the day, this was way before the 90s. They got their fingers, arm cut off type stuff. You know what I mean? Street justice. Like, hey, for a fact, this person ain't gonna never do that again. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like we just ultimately should have our own government and work things out in our own way, and that would never happen if we're not policing ourselves and doing things in our own neighborhood. So that's why I respect when you say, hey, really what I want to do is start policing our own neighborhoods and holding each other accountable for what we do to each other. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful, you know what I mean? So what are ways that people can actually reach out to you? Because I feel like this should be something in every neighborhood. I know you say you have a small select group right now, but how can people actually reach out to you? What are ways?
Really, man, just go to. I'm gonna just give my basic email real quick, and then from there, once I have people hit my email, then I would get them with the email to my organization. Is LaVar1980 at gmail.com.
Can you spell that for me? You said LaVar?
LaVar, LAVAR 1980 at gmail.com. And also you can refer them to the Instagram. They can also DM me. So just taking things to a more strategic level and screening and things of that nature.
I got you. And the Instagram again for the people, that's I.kill.jesus. You know, I love that name. You know what I mean? And some of y'all can actually find a video of me actually burning white Jesus. You know, I got a video. I forget how old it is, but I held up a piece of paper with white Jesus. I had to do the exact same thing. I had to kill that thought. You know, and one of the ways is I had to actually burn the thought out of my head because I actually came from a Christian background. They had white Jesus plastered everywhere, you know. So I got to a point where I was like, look, I need to do this just for my mind's sake, you know, because I know I'm out there. I don't believe in this white Jesus, but let me just kill all of that. So I burnt it on camera. I held up a white sheet of white Jesus and I set it on fire and watched it hit the ground. You know what I'm
And
saying?
we also got to get rid of that European mindset too. A lot because it starts with that fake spirituality. But we also have to get out of this systematic mindset that when I say the quote unquote Black American, I'm not attacking the FBAs, you know, the Foundation of Black Americans. But when I say that is we can't, because I know that's a new wave of a thing that's going on right now. We can't be Americanized at the same time, saying that we founded this country, but we tagging along with politics and we just trying to fight this thing with some kind of with a few outsiders. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people like to use the John Brown thing from back in the, you know, the days. You know what I'm saying? They're saying, "Oh, John Brown helped a lot of Black folks." You know, we got to get off that shit. It got to be everything for us, by us, only with us. You know what I'm saying? And no help. We've seen throughout history. History is a teacher. Every time we try to tag along with someone else, shit hits the fan and it goes down to shit. And so that should tell us, man, okay, we did it this way. We tried this way. We tried the peaceful thing. We tried the marches and all the other things. But we keep dancing around that one other thing. I won't say. Malcolm told us. Khalid Abdul Muhammad told us. We keep dancing around it because we're so afraid of everything else. Now I'm gonna put it like this here, man. The spirit of Khalid Abdul Muhammad is coming back. I'm one of the ones that's going to live through it. We have a few comrades that live, that we have Khalid Muhammad live through us. There's a lot of people don't like that ideology. They love that old, um, you know, that soft-spoken, watered-down BS. But we got to bring that spirit back. The spirit of Khalid Muhammad got to come back, but full force. You know what I'm saying? 3 times over. We need that hardcore. Yeah, we are. We are over the top with the blackness. I'm not gonna lie. We all over the top. It may seem like we exaggerate some stuff, but we honest with it, and we need that extremism. We all should be over the goddamn top with this black pride we have. It should be just like we don't care about what other people say, man. We have to when we show the action, man, people understand that we mean business. A lot of people don't take us, a lot of the militias or the Black Power movement serious because the production is not hard enough. It's not solid enough. It's not potent enough. We got to bring that back. That's why I respect some of them old time African regimes from back in the day, because they didn't play no games, man. I'm trying to bring that discipline back, man. You know, if again a pedophile, your head should be chopped off. If you're a traitor, your head should be chopped off. You should be burnt in a bonfire. That should be things drastically done to you when you do despicable things to let you know there's a standard amongst African people and as a culture. So I'm just fed up with the watered down BS. You know what I mean? There's some good organizations out there, but man, for the most part, it's a lot of bullshit that's out there that has to be stopped.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. You know, there's way too many slaps on the wrists out here. You know, we that got to get super serious. You know, when it comes to the people that's doing these tragic actions. You know, because it shouldn't be happening first off at all. You know what I mean? But we definitely got to be serious about the people that we bring in our groups as well. You know what I'm saying? Doing some better vetting. You know, so and all sorts. But I definitely respect this group. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of things that you said is I don't feel like anybody should disagree with it. You know what I mean? It's a lot of real things that you brought forth and that's pretty dope. You know, you have a code of conduct And I feel like anybody that has anything different to say, that's cool. Create your group, just do it over there. You know what I'm saying? So and it goes for anybody, even white people. If you feel like you want to help black people, create your group, do it over there. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a part of these organizations, you know.
We'll take your money. We'll take. You want to give us your money? We'll take your money.
Right.
We need all the money we can take. We'll take it, one way or another. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we greedy over here when it comes to everybody else. Everybody ate off of us. It's time to take stuff back by any means, man. Everybody eats off of us so much, man. And I don't give a damn if a man. I see a white man drop his wallet, it's mine now. You drop some cash, it's mine. You lose something valuable, it's mine. You know what I mean? That's the mindset we gotta have, man. We just gotta. I mean, and there's no where in history in wartime to where anybody ever had love for their enemy. It don't make sense. Nobody at war ever loved their enemy. This is why we go to war, because we hate our enemy. I hate my enemy. I hate my enemy to the utmost. I hate my enemy's children. I hate my enemy's elders. I hate my enemy's women. And I hate their forefathers. I hate their foremothers. I even hate the fetuses in their belly. That's the way we supposed to be on.
Well, that's real. That's real. You know, so and there it is. You know what I mean? So definitely want to bring you back on the platform. You know what I'm saying? I respect what you're doing. Yeah, keep doing the work. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing the work. You know, so I'm gonna leave you to the last words. If it's anything just in general that you want to say to the public and give to the people, by all means.
And man, I just want to give a shout out, man, to every organization out there that's putting in the work and have this thing at heart. Just keep it up. If you are out, whatever city you're in, whatever state you're in, and if there's a thorough organization that's out there and you feel that you at heart want to be in this fight, join that organization. You don't have to necessarily join my organization. Any organization out there. At the end of the day, man, we all one. At the end of the day. So I say that to say there's no ego here. This is not about me. This is not about popularity contest or trying to outshine anyone. That's too much people that want to do the show me, and too much clout chasing in this movement. We got to get rid of that, man. So if you out there, man, get some training. I advise my black folks out there, man, get you some training, because it's going to come a time soon to where you're going to need it. Soon can be next week. Soon can be next month. Soon can be 2, 3 years or 4 years from now. But get you some training. Protect your household. Men, it's your duty to get trained to protect your family. And I'm going to leave it at that. And I appreciate you, OC, for having me on the show.
Much love, much love. And just to add to that last piece, I mean, we at the time of war, you know what I mean? So we should be training anyway, because things can happen in any given second. You know what I'm saying? So, but definitely, brother, black power to you. You know, appreciate you, you know, for coming to the platform and sharing what you have, you know, with the people. And
Yes, sir.
I definitely want to see you doing the work and see a lot of great things coming out of this new group. You know what I mean? So that's a beautiful thing. All
Yes,
right.
I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you for having me on. You keep up the good work yourself.
Yeah, salute. All right,
Salute.
my brother.
All right, peace.
Yep, and there you have it. That's the brother. That's the good brother. Y'all make sure y'all follow this brother. You know what I'm saying? So you can know what's going on. Feel free to email him, ask some questions. But also, if you want to join, there you go. I just wanted to pick his brain, you know, just so y'all can know exactly what type of movement is about to be out there, you know, be in front of your face, you know, so you can know everything that's going on in the right way. You know what I'm saying? So I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all enjoy, you know, some of the knowledge. You know, one thing that I got from him is that definitely to be disciplined to be right in your mental and be able to carry yourself in the right way. You know what I'm saying? So that's physically, mentally, and emotionally. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about protecting the community. We have to be in here to protect, really anything that's ours. Normally when I look outside, especially in the AMs, I see the babies in our communities. We all need protection. You know what I'm saying? Especially as a village. If you see yourself, it takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes warriors to protect the village. You know what I mean? That's very important. So that's what I feel that he's talking about, that he want to bring to the table, with the NARR, want to actually push out for the public. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, salute y'all for coming through. Peace to everybody. It was a lot of positive things going on in the chat. So thank you. Always support this platform. I will say that there's not too many platforms like this. So if you want to hit the cash apps and stuff like that, by all means, I'm humbled about that. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a dollar sign, OCTheGreatTV, cash app. If you want, anytime you want to support this platform. But outside of that, free ozone, OCThe.org. Tomorrow, just so y'all know, tomorrow I will be doing a broadcast with the brother Talib and Christopher Foote. So these two people will be having a conversation tomorrow, and it will be an interesting one to me. There were some things that were said on this platform. It had to be cleared. It had to be cleared out. You know what I mean? So the brother Christopher Foote is coming, and also Talib Atunde. So that's the Fred Hampton Gun Club situation, but we're going to get it in the right way. I want to make sure we all on the same page, that there's no confusion or anything going out there. You know what I mean? So in the right way. Peace to the guys, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Yep.